One sec. And this is why you are a piece of trash. Sincerely yours. Alright, now that's out of the way. On today's video, we are going to unbox the new Mav Mini. Just arrived today from Amazon. I was actually going to buy this on the site because I wasn't sure if the official ones had got to Amazon yet, but looks like they did. All is well. And since I'm a very impatient person, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and get this open. We have the scan disc, 64 gigabyte. Figure that's good enough. These things are getting so much more cheaper these days. The main Mav Mini, just totally awesome. And then what is this? I didn't order this. Had to figure out what this is. Let's go and just set it aside. Alright, looks like that's how it opens. Remote controller. The actual device. Very cool. Because it looks like it came with some extra blades and stuff like that, so you want to keep those. Go ahead and charge everything, and we'll see how this bad boy flies. It looks like it could use a good charging, and we'll go from there. You won't believe this, but I've been flying for the past 15 minutes thinking I was filming and trying all these crazy shots. I had the drone set up in photo mode and just took a picture. I now have the video set up correctly. As you can see, I'm not an experienced drone pilot. I have found that the Mav Mini is great for new flyers and very easy to handle. I did have experience with one of those $100 drones you'd find on Amazon, but the Wi-Fi part stopped connecting after about a month of owning it. I can still fly it, but without the video and recording. Compared to the cheap drone, the Mav Mini handles a lot better. I had issues with the cheap one, like it would not hover completely in one spot and would still move slowly while trying to hover, and this would essentially lead to it hitting something, or I would have to move out of the way very quickly and obstacles being in the way. I just got done flying the drone at the beach, and it's definitely worth the money. Very user-friendly, very easy to fly. My prior drone was this thing, was like one of these $100 ones off Amazon. Now this wasn't bad, and it was good for like training, like getting used to like practicing and stuff like that. Kind of like, you know, my very first drone kind of a thing, like my very first computer, and it's kind of this dinky kids thing, you know, one of those things. But I was nervous because even with that drone, when I would hover, it wouldn't fully hover. There was some sort of mechanism with it that you manually had to do, but it never worked out correctly, so it would still just, it would hover, but it still just kind of moved to one side, and you had to move it back. And this thing, when you like had it hover, even with the slight amount of wind there was at the beach, it would just stay smooth in one spot. It just didn't move, and if there was wind, it kind of put itself back in its location. So it was definitely a lot better with flying. It was very user friendly. Of course, you know, you pay $400 or $500 for these things. There's always that thing in your mind now, what if I drop this, or something hits it, or I lose a signal and just takes a nosedive right in the ocean. Because you'll see in some of the footage, I went way out over the water, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely worth it. I may look into doing more battery packs. I just have the one that came with it, but it gives you a good 30 minutes, and there was no issues. There was a little bit of an issue setting up, And obviously getting familiar with the drone, you have to set up an account and agree to all these terms of service. Totally understand in today's like drone world that they have all these things, you know. As for this though, I don't know. I'm gonna call and see what they want to do with this. I don't know what it is. It looks, I think it's broken. It looks broken to me. But maybe for someone else that they really need this, maybe it's like a part to a type of a intercom system or something like that and they really need it. Like it's trash to me, but for someone else, this could be really important. So I'll have to see and see what Amazon says, and I've had to do weird returns like this before. They'll probably have me take a photo of it and all that stuff, and it says on there not for sale. So I don't know what it is, but maybe I'll look up the number later and all that stuff. But it's not about that. This is sort of about the new Maverick drone. And as someone that went from flying one of those $100 ones to this one, the new Mav one is definitely, it's easier to fly than even the $100 ones. It's definitely worth the money if you plan on getting some of those really good photos and videos and stuff like that. But I'd highly recommend it. For the next 2 weeks, it looks like we're about to go into some rain, and we currently have a bit of a fire going on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And my definitely take on it is, if you are thinking about it, have the money set aside, there's thousands of other YouTubers rating this thing. I just want to put my input because I'm the type of person that this is technically my first real drone. But there's professional YouTube channels out there that are just dedicated to drones, and check them out to get like very specific details you may need. But for someone new, this is great. I loved it. It was fun as hell to fly. I had a ton of fun with it. It was just completely fascinated by the whole thing. So anyways, have a good one, and see you next time. Gonna find out what this nonsense is, and we'll go from there. Bye.